Hi, my name is Shawn Barry and I'm the creative director of a small boutique agency here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada called Booster Rocket Media, where we do cool things like websites, animation, video, and graphic design, advertising, all that good stuff. And what I wanted to talk about quickly today was giving creative feedback to your creative team. So whether or not your creative team is Booster Rocket Media, we'd love to have you. But if your agency is somebody else or you have an in-house designer, there's kind of some universal truths that sort of help all of us creative people when dealing with any kind of client-based project, which may have lots of moving parts. I mean, hey, throw this copy into a brochure. Those things are relatively simple. But if we're dealing with your brand on a larger scale, one of the things that is really a common problem in the design client communication process is what I call client code speak. And that's when you have abbreviated terms or abbreviated names for referring to parts of your business or events that may have happened in the past or brands that you sell, and or projects that are like initiatives within your company that you need design help with. You call those things all sorts of different things because you and your teammates each day have to find abbreviations to make things move a little bit quicker, make your discussions go much easier, and that's all an important part of the business. But just remember that your graphic design team doesn't always know what that code speak means. And this is one of those things that I've seen the hours on a project double because code speak sent the graphic designer in 10 different directions trying to understand what a certain kind of feedback was. And an example of code speak, just generally speaking, is let's say your business in 2014, August in Montreal, Canada, somewhere was at a conference. And 17 of your team members went down to Montreal and you were there for an entire week. And the language that you use to describe that conference might be the Lakeview Conference, let's say, for example. Lakeview because you guys had a great hotel that had a view of the lake. And so, hey, that was the Lakeview Conference. And everybody refers to it that way. And then 6 months later, you do a website and you put up some kind of a post about that conference. If you tell your graphic designer the Lakeview Conference, they don't know what that means. They didn't see the really awesome hotel, or nor do they know anything that you're talking about. So when you have a bunch of photos that are named img-0231.jpg, anyone who's looking at that, who's not in the know, does not know that photo came from somewhere called the Lakeview Conference. They just know it's an image with this number, and there's like 201, 202, 203, all these image names and numbers are basically just what the camera gave them, and they don't know which one is which. So one of the things to really be aware of is that if you're using code speak with your graphic design team, just make sure that all of your assets that you've given them, whether it's a folder full of photos, and that folder is called Lakeview Photos, and there's a Lakeview Conference logo that is called Lakeview Conference logo.eps, and not like, LG_694-medium.eps, which I've seen many times, some other weird name somebody else came up with for a file that is not in any way related to what the project is about. It can create a ton of confusion if the assets don't match your language about them. So one bit of advice dealing with your creative team at any time, make sure you communicate clearly. They need directions off a desert island. You're not on the island, you're just leaving them a note when you leave so that they know where to find the coconuts and survive. You're going to make that note really clear and make it a really clear map with words that make sense. Big tree, coconuts, climb sort of thing, right? You're going to make it really obvious. And do that with your graphic design communications. Your designers will be much happier, I guarantee it, and they'll know what they're looking at. And they'll understand when they use the same language that you do because everything in that kit makes sense. It just helps them a ton. It'll help you a ton as well. So hopefully this advice was useful for you, and we hope to see you back at the Booster Rocket Media vlog as we post more in the future. Anyway, and that's it for today. So until next time, I will see you again soon. Goodbye.